Level 70, Dramatis Persona. Eaton knows of someone seeking your acquaintance. Welcome, milady. There is a young maiden here who would speak with you. Reporter lady, huh? Yes, the adventurer has arrived. Lina Murila. And here she is, the liberator of both Doma and Alamigo in the flesh. I am Lina Murila, correspondent for the Raven. You may recognize me from my expose on the secret lives of the homunculi. Is there a problem? Fuji, that would be my sister. People mistake us all the time. Same profession, you see, and we do bear passing resemblance. When last I heard, she was still assigned to the Botanist Guild in Gridania, poor thing. But enough small talk. It's not for nothing that I've been standing here since yesterday morning on the off chance you'd pass by. No, I'm here because, actually, it's best you heard it from Alma, but I am but an observer. Alma, come, I found her. Is this the adventurer of whom you spoke? Indeed it is. Please, I beg of you, find my father. You are his only hope. Hey, Obi-Wan. Didn't have to read so fast otherwise. It's alright, Alma. We are attracting unwanted attention. Might I suggest a change of venue? We will await you before the Prima Vista. The theater barge has a berth at the airship landing. Okay. Is this the Alliance raid? Taking me to an airship? I mean, don't spoil it for me. Just talking to myself. Hey. I mean, it's not like meet us at a it didn't say meet us at a in front of this dungeon you did on the easy mode or normal mode or whatever, like the other ones did. This is like airship. I have no clue where the airship landing here is. Because we came by boat. Airship landing. Outside? Okay. As I said before, I think it better we continue this conversation in the privacy of the young lady's barge. It's not that I don't trust anyone here, it's simply that I don't trust anyone here. Gate guard Minigumo has been instructed to look out for you. In future, speak with him when you wish to gain admission to the docks. Thank you for coming, Zilly. You're probably wondering why I've summoned you to an airship, and a Garlean one at that. Allow me to explain on the shuttle. I'm like, okay, you're coming with us. They own an airship. They must be swanky. On the Orzia, it's restricted. They didn't say anything about this area, though. Yeah, I've been seeing that off the coast. I didn't know what it was for, though. Prima Vista serves as both stage and home to the majestic Imperial Theater Company. You can keep that dirk in your drawer, as no one here is a member of the Imperial Army, nor are there any spies within the troop, at least. No known spies. Ask anyone and they will readily attest. The majestic Imperial Theater Company are the finest practitioners of the dramatic arts to be found anywhere on the 3 great continents and beyond. They have admirers throughout the Empire and its territories, and even boast a sizable following in Gridania, hence my assignment to their story. It is a little-known fact outside Garlemald, at least, that the late Emperor was a devoted patron of the arts who supported various theater troupes to the tune of much coin. Indeed, Solus was so enamored of the majestic players that he ordered the construction of this very airship, that the troupe might perform in every corner of the Empire. When his grandson took the throne, however, everything changed. Now all theater troupes, domestic and foreign, must submit their works for approval by the Central Imperial Board of Censors. If a play is deemed vulgar or inflammatory, it is banned and the troupe denied their writs of transit. The worst offenders, well, they are never heard from again. Censorship, no! This policy has effectively left playwrights with one of 2 options: compromise their creative integrity to curry favor with his radiance, or put down their quills altogether. The principal of the Majestic, however, chose a 3rd option: to express his disapproval for a new emperor's policies obliquely in ostensibly unpolitical works. Pray forgive me for my earlier outburst. I am Alma Bas Lexentale, daughter of Principal Genemos Gonsin Lexentale. Or is it Lezentale? I don't know. Mayhap you have heard of my father's latest play, The Zodiac Brave story? On the surface it is an innocent retelling of a well-known Garlean fairy tale, hardly worthy of the censor's attention, but beneath it is something quite different, a fact that censors failed to spot when they approved the manuscript for public performance. The play quickly became a huge success. The common folk loved its fantastical story, while the learned classes appreciated its true message. By the time the Imperial Board of Censors realized their mistake, it was too late. No longer in a position to prohibit the performance outright without admitting fault, they took aim at the company's purse strings instead. Before long, noble patrons began to withdraw their support, fearing to be associated with the troupe, and by the end, even the learned felt compelled to feign ignorance. By bleeding the Majestic of their funding, the censors robbed them of their voice. And none of this has made it any clearer as to why you're here, right? Yeah, no. Allow me, Lena. Oh, Sid's here. I've known Genomus since we were students at the Magitech Academy. When I heard his daughter was in Kugane looking to enlist the aid of an adventurer, I felt compelled to give her your name. Sorry for not announcing myself sooner, old friend. Genomus and I were from different worlds, but that only served to fuel our friendship. Many were the nights we would prattle on into the wee small hours, warm flagons of peated ale numbing our minds to the other's naive ideologies. Yet no matter where our conversation began, it would invariably end with him telling me how he was going to change the Empire from the inside out. The troupe was to be his path into the people's hearts. Even after the Empire forced him from his home, Genomus never gave up hope that his work might change the world. Art will ever strain against artificial bounds and borders, man-made walls and misguided wars. It is in such times of uncertainty that we must needs embrace our calling and take to the skies so others might do the same. What I am trying to say, rather poorly I concede, is that not all Garleans are hewn from the same stone. Just as there are those who pledge their lives to the Empire and would never think to question the authority of its leaders, there are those like Alma's father and myself whose love for their country does not blind them to its flaws. Still, try selling that sack of sunflower to an Alamegan or a Doman who has watched his family consumed in the flames of a Magitech Reaper. How many Eorzean adventurers do you think would leap at an opportunity to help an Imperial search for her missing father? And in Garlean territory, no less. But you are different. You have seen enough to know that the line between good and evil is not defined by race, color, or creed. So, what say you? I could never turn my back on a damsel in distress. I would make a poor adventurer were I to shy from adventure. Ain't that the truth? Indeed. Now that you understand the nature of the task, perhaps Alma could provide some insight as to where we might begin our search? Shortly before my father disappeared, he began work on his next play, a successor to the Zodiac Brave story. But I am getting ahead of myself. Please, follow me. Gotta be the Alliance raid, right? Just too much exposition for it not to be. On screen. Through adventure and hardship, young Delita, a boy of common blood, becomes a hero, culminating in the birth of a mythical kingdom of Ivalice. Oh, Final Fantasy XII! It's the only reason I started playing this game was it looked like Final Fantasy XII. But that is where the story ends. There are no records of anything that follows. Was Principal Genoma simply going to invent something? My father believed that he had discovered evidence of a second hero, one whose efforts went largely unnoticed, but without whom Delta would never have risen to the throne. Delita. His was the next tale he wanted to tell, the true Zodiac Brave story. The second hero. According to my father's studies, this young man was one of Delita's closest friends and confidants, that is, until the untimely passing of Delita's sister forced the two to part ways. Yet the unnamed hero continued to provide aid to his friend by thwarting the machinations of those who would scheme against Delita, and thus paving the way for the pauper's rise to regent. You must forgive me, but I never heard anyone make such claims. How exactly did your father come by this information? That is a long story. One which begins and ends with Genomus becoming lost in the very legend he sought to lay bare. Even as far back as our academy days, Ivalice had Genomus firmly in its grasp. He flatly refused to believe the story was just a fairy tale. And so when he was finally driven out of Garlemald, it was only natural that he should choose this of all places as his refuge, was it not, Alma? That is correct, Master Garland. It has long been my father's belief that the ruins of ancient Ivalice lie beyond Nagja. Nagja? Buried beneath the sands of the Dalmasca Desert. Before Dalmasca, the kingdom prospered in relative isolation for countless generations until the Empire came calling. When not touring, my father would organize expeditions into Dalmasca Desert to search for proof of Ivalice's existence. Sometimes he would bring back strange artifacts, ancient tomes, and crystals unlike any others. My father called them auracite and claimed they were vital to proving his theories. This is one such crystal. I thought it was going to be manufactured nethicite. By the 12, it's magnificent. Ivalician legend tells of crystals bequeathed by the gods unto those who would be kings. It is during his quest to gather auracite that young Delita rises to prominence. I must have heard that tale 1,000 times from my nursemaid, but that is all it ever was, a tale. My father would often tell us how the auracite spoke to him. At the time, we assumed he was speaking figuratively, that the stone's beauty roused his muse. But then he began to act strangely. How so? Isn't the auracite the stuff that, like, we used to trap the Asians? Isn't that what Moon Brita had, was the white auracite? Following our arrival here in Hingashi, my father spent most of his time cloistered in his chambers, poring over his past research, and though he was alone, we could oft hear him in conversation. It was not uncommon for my father to recite the lines as he wrote them, but it soon became clear that this was something else. It was as if he was talking to my mother who passed several winters gone. Might this not have been out of mere loneliness? Or perhaps the strain of your flight from Garlemald? Possibly, but that would not explain the voices which answered him. Yeah. Alma, who are these people? I told you I did not require any help finding father, especially from outsiders. So good of you to join us, Ramza. Allow me to introduce... Enough, Master Cid. Ramza Bas Lexentail. We may be shunned by the Empire, but we are still Garleans, and we still have our pride. Unlike some, it seems, we require neither the aid nor the pity of a foreign rabble. Oh, he's just a joy, isn't he? Have you forgotten where you are, brother? It is we who are the foreign rabble. This land and its customs are all but unknown to us. We would be fools to conduct our search without proven guide. Your sister is right, Ramza. As for my good friend here, your mistrust is ill-placed. I will personally vouch for her character, and all the time I have known her, she has never once let anything as insignificant as race or creed or color her judgment. You are lucky to have her. But we would have you, Master Garland. Why do you refuse us? You know why. Until this affair with Omega is resolved, my hands are tied. It pains me to refuse you and your sister, but it pains me far more to leave Genomus to his fate. I am sorry. Yeah, go deal with Omega. You need not apologize. I let my emotions get the better of me. After what happened in Rabanastre, it may be time to admit we're out of our depth. My brother's last expedition met with tragedy in the ruins of the capital city. He barely escaped with his life. Empire turned Rabanastre into a death trap. You were a fool to set foot there without proper escort. I realize that now, Master Garland, but at the time I saw an opportunity to rescue our father and I took it. Whatever led you to believe your father was in Dalmasca's capital? My father's fascination with Ivalician legend began with a trip to the antediluvian city, long before the war. Call it a premonition, but something tells me that is where he has returned. Now you must excuse me, I need some time to think. Then Alma, I shall leave you and your brother in Zilly's capable hands. She has ever repaid my trust with interest. You would do well to grant her yours. Thank you, Master Garland. We will not forget this kindness. Alright. Well, we're making some progress. Prima Vista... Ramza Bas Lexentail. Master Garland seems to think highly of you, so I will withhold judgment until after Dalmasca. Level 70, a city fallen. Ramza is itching to depart. Dalmasca is nestled in a forgotten corner of the Empire's outermost territories. I do not foresee any trouble from the standing army, but would suggest committing to memory the locations of each of the barge's exits, just in case. As for the flight itself, the currents above Dalmasca are as wild as the land below. You may want to hold on. I think 12's highly underrated. Yeah, let's go. New raid. We'll complete our descent to Rabanastre in the shuttle. Hey, we're not taking the little girl with us, are we? Ramza! Thought I made myself clear, Alma. The capital is simply too dangerous. Father would never forgive me if I were to lose you trying to rescue him. Come, we are wasting time. I don't need any of you. Just point me in the right direction. I got this. Me and my 23 adventurer friends. That traveled with me from to the Far East. Yeah. Will do. The Royal City of Rabanastre. Oh, it does kind of look like the one from 12. I mean, I assume they would model it after that. I know it's not, like, technically the same, but kind of like their take on it. Can you go kill rats in the sewer? According to my father, Rabanastre was already a thriving city some 1,000 years ago. But after performing several private excavations beneath the so-called Desert Sapphire, my father came to the conclusion that it was not the first settlement to stand here. And your father believes that Rabanastre sits atop the royal city of Lasalia, capital of Ivalice? But if that's true, it could change history. We would be famous. Famous? Are you sure you don't mean rich? Ah, you're kinda all alike. Parasites grown fat on the sweat and suffering of others. Bold words for a boy of but 16 summers. Yeah, you brat. And what, pray tell, have I done to deserve such spite? I only wish to learn the truth behind the disappearance of the Empire's foremost playwright. If that should lead to something bigger, well then I would be worst reporter in the realm if I did not pursue it. Yeah. It's not right. Yes, we can argue about this now, or we can return to the Prima Vista and report to our army of adventurers that it is time to begin the expedition. I humbly suggest the latter. Oh yeah, if it's a raid, we're going to do it. Zero idea of the raid or its mechanics, but that's okay. Oh. You see, it is as I said, brother, let them come to us. Is that Bagaman? Did we kill them now? No, the time is not right. When has that stopped us before? Fool, do you see that one? Slayer of gods, they call her warrior of light. As me, slayer of gods. Royal City of Rabanastre, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular... Level 70, the Royal City of Rabanastre. Recently, residents of Kugane woke to find hovering above their city an airship unlike any ever seen. Yet, while of Garlean design, the vessel distinctly lacked the bleak outfitting common in the Empire's war machina. No, this was the Prima Vista, private stage for the Majestic Imperial Theater Company, a troupe having won acclaim across Garlemald for their timeless work, The Zodiac Brave story. Which begets the question, why are they here? The answer to that question more lies in the selfsame legend of which they sing, the legend of Ivalice. Okay. Fine. Not bad. Alright, let's see. I don't know how long it'll take for us to queue up. Alright, let's do this. Blind playthrough. Rabanastre. Question mark? Well, my adventurer friends that happen to follow me to the far east. City of my fathers. These are no ordinary birds. Boss right away, huh? Good lord. I wasn't expecting that right away. Are we supposed to stand in those? I don't see anybody else standing in them. Aqua Sphere. Let's do this first. Just attacking the stuff everybody else is probably the best way to do it. Mateus, the corrupt. Oh, I'm frozen. How'd I get frozen? I'm about to die too. What the hell am I supposed to do? I have not played this before, no. Full cast. How are we supposed to go with this? He's going over here, so that's where I'm headed. Oop, can't get far enough away. Yeah, he's one of the, they call them Eidolons in FF12? I don't remember what they're called in FF12. For the summons, they have a different name. Okay. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? Almost impossible to breathe. Okay, so I died of something. I mean, we'll look up the mechanics next before we do it next time, but... I mean, I don't know what the hell happened. It just said I was having trouble breathing, so some kind of doom or something. But I don't know if that's... if I was supposed to do something or if I was supposed to be soon at... not taking damage down. I mean, I don't know, like... I'm playing blind. I don't care if I die. Like, it happened. the Tombstone event, we've been playing a lot of Dunscape. We still die sometimes because the healers don't know to take Doom off of us, so... I don't know if it's my fault or not. Release the birds. I can't quite see, so everything's just piled in. Cocoa Meteor. I wasn't just supposed to fill up my gauge. I guess because we weren't in combat. We killed everything right before I hit it. Of the twisted others. This is not the work of the Empire. Something is wrong here. Oh yeah, it's like all their summons. Of the Zodiac. It makes sense. Ashmal, Ring of Order. How was that thing? Control tower. Yeah, it looked like it was about to fall on me. It's like, yeah, let's get the hell out the way. Okay, swoop. That's like what Nidal does. I'm assuming we don't want to be standing in that, right? Get away from me, people. I know how some mechanics work. Oh, I thought I was out of the way of it. Couldn't tell. I was just slightly not. It's all right. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna res me, but they're not gonna heal me. So. I don't know how many times we're gonna die. It doesn't really matter. I will learn the mechanics afterwards. Even one of our healers is down. I don't guess they're gonna do all of the summons. I don't know what they're calling 12. Probably do like Ivalice and a couple other ones. I mean, some of them share the names with stuff we've already fought, so. Yeah, I can still block it. Right. We'll get credit. I don't mind. If I cared that much, I would have looked up how to do it. Better content if I die. Happens so few and far between. Go demon. Alright, we're having fun now. So new. I don't get used to it. I'm not going to keep dying in these. Yeah, that last one was my fault. That first one I'm still not sure about. Garenside Waterway. Welcome to the Garenside Waterway. These tunnels are said to have existed before Damascus. Okay. Which way are we supposed to go? I'm C. I'm supposed to go the other way. That's not where I wanted to go. That's not where I wanted to go. It took me. Do we meet back up? No, I'm on the wrong platform. I didn't know it was split off. I don't know anything. No, we're definitely in the wrong area, wrong place. Map would stop moving. Do we meet back up? Sky Pirate Scrawlings, did that say something about Vaughn? Baltia? Definitely in the wrong area. What supposed to do here? As long as we all meet back up, I don't guess it matters then, huh? Whee! Water slide. Campsite waterway is the sewer, if I'm not mistaken. Thessalia. That's not from Final Fantasy XII. That must be from what's the other game? The initial one. Not Revenant Wings. Dissidia? I don't know. Crush Helm. I remember my position now. Well, the one you find in the waterway is like Fushalon or whatever. The Impure, but they use that in one of the other dungeons already, and it doesn't look anything like him. Just get our deeps in, that's all. Oh, what the hell? We're not doing much anyway in the way of damage, are we? Am I supposed to tell where I can and cannot go? Oh, like a figure 8? Okay. Where are you going, Mr. Chariot Man? Okay, that's a raid wide then. Okay, wrong button. Get him! didn't even see the little figure 8 thing come down. Maybe I should have picked a range job where I could see. How did I get out of this? What the hell is this? Stand on these? Click on them? Oh, shit. Trying to get out. I'm trying to get out. Alright. Is this the last one? It seemed like it would be too soon to be the last one, but I haven't been rolling on any of the gear. Some of it might be useful. Who the hell are you? Or is that Daddy? Is that the Daddy? Overtaken by madness? Ready, check all you want, I'm watching this.
Who dares disturb the slumber of Adalphus, rightful king of Ivalice?
Come go on ahead, I got a cutscene.
Then by my sword shall I banish your souls to the deepest hell.
Ready checking. Hey man, I can't help it. It's a cutscene. Run it again. I'm ready now. Not a lot of loot.
It is to be a fight then. I am only too happy to oblige. Like sheep before the wolf.
What the heck is that? What the fuck was that? Don't look.
You will be judged.
Okay, I guess I did that right. I don't know what the hell that was.
You will be judged. Kneel and repent.
No, it's my first time, but like when it says not to look at something, I can pretty much guess what to do. Not like that. Complicated. What the hell's going on here? Who are we tied to? I'm not tethered to anything. Really? Are we supposed to be tethered? Hey, those don't look like something I'm supposed to be doing.
Does it grieve you to see the depths of your own weakness laid bare? Maggots!
Okay, I got some kind of stack. Can I stand in this?
You do not belong in my world. Step into nothing.
Yeah, that's a raid wide. Everybody got hit.
I am the lies upon which you sup. You will be judged.
I figure if I had to look away for the other one, for this one I had to look at him.
Your claim to life is full.
Not complicated. Maybe I got it wrong.
You have a blood to stain the soil. I am Revelation! You will be judged.
I mean, I could be doing it wrong, but it's not hurting me any, so I don't really care.
I am Revelation!
Been around.
You will be judged. The world has no place for such wretches. Your claim to life is forfeit.
Hey, what am I doing wrong there? It's not. Yeah. It's not like a pure backwards thing.
The gods have no eyes but fool is the dog who bears his teeth before his master. Like sheep before the
That looks like something we should be standing in. Zodiac Thriller. We got through it.
Where am I? This body. It is not my own. Oh gods, what have I done?
Yeah.
Save me! Ramza! Save me!
So I'm sure we'll get here plenty of times. It's not really necessary that we roll on everything. Doo-doo. Hey, this is why I'm hot. Yay! We did it! I only died twice. That's not too bad. I mean, I don't even know if like half the mechanics or stuff I'd even did wrong. Need. 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 Greed. Need. 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 Didn't get anything so far, so we get. These are probably lower item level than what I already have. Yeah. Especially for the first one. I didn't get him for any jobs that I need him for. How are they still in there? Aura site. Alright. Daddy? Is that you, Daddy? Where? Where am I? Father! Hamza and the Warrior of Light? Yes, I know of you, but that you should come to my rescue. Words fail me. The poor playwright I must seem. Jerk. The term you're looking for is thank you. Upon which note, I, Bagamnan, bounty hunter, do humbly thank you, Warrior of Light, for delivering me this fine gift. See, I knew it was Bagamnan. Didn't ask. Now hand over the aura site unless you wish to see the desert sands turn red, and be quick. Gijuk here does not have the steadiest of hands. That one, she will bring it to me. Yeah, you're kind of smart not letting me close to you. He's an idiot, but he's not a fool. There's a difference. He did? Yes, this is it. The Duma. And to think we found it so close to Doma. The Duma of Doma. Wahaha. Okay. He didn't even get a name. Enough, Wagi. We would not have our guests think us underbred. You have what you want, you thieving lizards. Now unhand him. Of course, Abanga is always true to his word. I will be keeping this, though. I just play? Is that like his research book? Father! Daddy? Daddy, is that you? You've only yourselves to blame for this, but if you mislike the thought, you could always blame the gods, not that they are listening. Wahahaha. Get up, fool, we're leaving. Just a flesh wound. Not even that bad of a joke. Everyone's a critic. You're going to be alright. We cannot see you to your father's hurts here. As your father's hurts here. Come on, we must get him back to the Prima Vista. Prima Vista. Alright. Inomus remains deep in slumber, but his breathing is steady and his fever has subsided. For now, all we can do is wait. I've sent word to Sid. I hope you don't mind. Inomus. Alma Ramsek, can you ever forgive me? And you, Sid, it was never my intention to put you to such trouble. I am ever in your debt. You would have done the same for me, Genomus. Besides, it was Zilla here who went to all the trouble. If anyone deserves your thanks, it's her. Damn right. He is right. I have done naught to deserve your kindness, yet I am its beneficiary nonetheless. So if I understand correctly, you're saying Orsight does not work to facilitate the possession of a living host by an icon, as it was assumed to be the case with Isael and the Archbishop, but rather absorbs the host ether, its very soul, and somehow transforms it before returning it to the host body. If that is the case, our Charlian allies will need to be informed immediately. But I suppose the real question here is, did you find what you came looking for? The legend would have us believe that Delita Hero, the commoner who would be king, was the sole hero of the Zodiac Brave story, but as I have discovered, there was another, two others in fact. Siblings whose roles faded from subsequent retellings of the story, a brother and sister by the name of Ramza and Alma. Coincidental? Then, to prepare for this assignment, I pored over every published work on Ivalician legend I could lay my hands on, and nowhere did I find any mention of these siblings. Coincidentally named after your children? Yes. Very sus. But I did. I uncovered irrefutable evidence that Delita had a close companion named Ramza who aided him in his rise to power. This in turn led me to Alma, and that I might never lose sight of the truth, I named my own children after these lost players. Okay. So he learned this a long time ago then. Like, one of them is 16. I'm sorry I never told you any of this, Sid, but you must believe me, Ivalice has never been a mere pastime of mine. It is and forever will be my calling, my purpose. My family's purpose. Go on. The world knows me as Genomus Con Sen Lexentale, yet that is but my stage name. My true name is Aroslam Durai. Countless generations past, it was my ancestor who penned the Durai Papers, an account of Ivalice and the War of the Lions that details what truly occurred during the turbulent era. You are tired, Father. Rest. I will continue. Long ago, an orphan by the name of Orin Durai crossed paths with both Ramza and Delita. After Delita's rise to power, Orin found himself in the service of a pauper become king. Following the War of the Lions, Orin believed the people of Ivalice had a right to know the truth of Ramza's involvement and set about documenting his deeds. When the church learned of his intent, however, they branded him a heretic and had him burned at the stake. I think a very Ishgardian thing to do. The Durai Papers were never published, and any existing copies were gathered and sealed away in church vaults, the truth about Ivalice along with them. What was so damning that it would drive the church to do such a thing? The answer to that question can be found in this book, the only surviving transcript of my ancestors' chronicle, copied from an early draft and passed down for untold generations. With this, my father and I plan to reveal the truth and restore honor to my family name. Forbidden Chronicles, a secret family legacy. Not that I doubt you, Genomus, but how do you expect to convince people of all this when well-nigh every soul in the realm believes Ivalice to be nothing but a bedtime story? by proving that it is anything but. And when people see that Ivalice was real, the rest will fall into place. Well, that palace was certainly real. Like, were it as simple as bringing forth the chronicle and submitting it for review, we would of course have done so long ago, but alas, it is not. The derived papers you see are written in High Ivalician, ancient tongue long extinct. My father, his father, and his father before him labored tirelessly to decipher this tome, but for want of other sources made only fitful progress. A word here, a phrase there. It wasn't until a recent expedition to Rabanastre turned up several well-preserved artifacts that we were able to translate a small portion of the papers. Where's Urianger when you need him? Then the diary stolen by the Banga bounty hunters. I'm afraid so. Everything we had learned of the language was contained in those pages. Then we're back to where we started. Not necessarily. We still have the transcript, as well as some few translated passages, and of course, my father's impeccable memory. I have come too far to allow so simple a setback to deter me from my purpose. I will show the world the truth if it is the last thing I do. It is as Master Garland said, he is a man obsessed, and I fear Ivalice's grip on him will only grow tighter. Father was fortunate to escape Rabanastre with his life, and already he speaks of continuing his quest. Promise me you'll keep him safe, please. Something to do in between slaying gods, you know. Alright. After what I've seen here, I'm all but convinced that Ivalice exists, at least in some form. The problem will be gathering sufficient evidence to convince the thousands of scholars and historians who have based their careers on the presumption that it doesn't. Not that I've ever been one to shy from a challenge, especially when it means the story of the century. If you're in, Zilly, then I'm in, and if you're not in, well, I'm still in. Either way, you'll be hearing from me again soon, that much I promise you.